Hello. Today we are working with sand painting, which actually doesn't involve sand, and it doesn't involve painting as well. It does involve working with your personal stuff, those old wounds. It's a shamanic technique that actually helps us step in to work with our personal innerness when we get triggered. When we get triggered, that old stuff begins to surface, and we have many, many tools as healers to work our own medicine. The sand painting is sort of a wheel where we step in to the south, shift to the west, to the north, and then to the east. And we use sticks, which I'll demonstrate in just a little bit. It helps us really understand those directions and how each direction wants to help us heal, help us step into serpent first to shed those layers that are just there for us, that holds and binds us. It also helps us step into Jaguar, who takes us on an incredible journey into where that wound first began so that we can see it, see the gifts that it brought to us, and let it grow. And then we step into that place where we can fully let it go. So it's about the process of letting something old die so something new can grow within us. We all have stories. Stories are around us from our childhood, from womb, from past lives. And sand painting actually helps us step in to see those stories in a way that we might not otherwise be able to see them. And we use the archetypes. We use serpent, jaguar, hummingbird, and eagle. And of course, always the Pachamama and Inti Tai, the sky energy. We work with the elements when we call in those directions to hold our sand paintings so that we can fully step in to who we are now and who we are becoming. So beforehand, I've gathered some sticks, and that's what you'll do also to create your sand painting. And sand painting, this time of the year, I like to collect lots of sticks so that during the winter months, I am able to have sticks available when I get triggered. Again, we're human, and we have these things that surface that sometimes we just don't know how to process them. The sand painting actually helps us step in to process, again, into serpent, jaguar, where we are shedding those layers, and then into hummingbird, where we begin to dream a new dream, something that best suits who we are now, and then into eagle, where we begin to really trust that we've been seen and heard, and trust that we can fully let it go without manifesting anything else. So let's begin. I'm going to step back a little bit and move the computer down so you can get a good handle here. I'm hoping that the sun's not too bright. I do see a little shadow there. So I have my outer layer sticks first, which is known as the spirit catcher. And the spirit catcher is what we create first, and they touch each other, sort of like a nest building. And we create the outer layer first to hold what's happening within us. So I'm just going to create this nice, beautiful layer. And as you can see, it's just a nice little circle that's going to begin to hold what's going on inside of me. And you can use several of them if you want. You can just keep going around. When I begin, I like to open sacred space, so which I've already done. So sacred space is open. And by doing that, again, I call in the directions of the south and Sachamama and the elements. I call in the direction, that sacred essence of the west wind and jaguar and the element, and then the winds of the north and hummingbird and the element. And also at this time, I call in the ancient ones and my ancestors to come and fully support this session, this self-healing session, which is so important for me. And then east, the winds of the east, and eagle, and the element, also welcoming in that Pachamama and all of this that is from her, all of her medicine, and that sky energy, Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, and the Star Nation. And I also invite in Great Spirit to support this. So we always do that beforehand, before we begin. Once that is taking place and your spirit catcher is set up, we open the light of our Wetacocha, and we open it up over the sand painting as well, so that we can begin to really fully sink in. So I have my beautiful sticks over here that I won't need. This is my spirit catcher stick, but I also have littler sticks over here that I'm going to begin to blow in my trigger. And I'm going to begin in the south first. Normally, I would shift around. I would sit in the south and blow in the south, and then move to the west, and then to the north, and to the east. But for sake of this video, I'm going to sit right here in the south. And as you can see, Father Sun is beautifully shining upon me, and I'm ever so grateful for that. So I'm going to begin. And so here in the south, I have a trigger. And it has to do with my sister. She's my older sister. And she's had a pretty tough go of it. And she has addictions, and she has some mental disabilities that have come in from these addictions. And currently she's homeless, and she's sort of been estranged from us in her family. So I'm starting to feel it right here in my belly. My solar plexus is teaming up, and I can feel it's starting to tighten. So I'm going to blow this. I'm going to stay exactly with the facts in Serpent of what my body is experiencing. So I'm going to blow this in. And I'm going to give this to the Pachamama to hold. Last week she reached out to me, and she sounded horrible. She's homeless. She's living in her car. I'm starting to feel the story arise. My throat is tightening, so I'm going to stay with the facts for just a moment, but that story is starting to come through. So I'm going to blow that tightening in my throat, and I'm going to give that to the Pachamama to hold. And I cross it over the other stick that was there. Now you can stay as long as you want in each direction. But for me, because the feeling is already starting to come, I can tell that I'm shifting into a story. Jaguar comes in with that intent, that force, that power to help me shift from that stuckness and into flow. But I want to be able to really feel what story is coming about around this. I can't help her. I don't know how. I feel so helpless. I feel so helpless in how I can make things better for her when she doesn't want things better for her. And I'm going to give that to the west, the Jaguar to hold. She's such a beautiful soul. And when I was in the womb, it was her that I wanted to meet. I love her so much. I feel cheated. I feel cheated.
that I don't have her as a sister in the way that I wanted her to be. I have an expectation of what I expected from her. And the wound is so deep for me, that I'm going to give that to Pachamama to hold. And I'm going to welcome Jaguar to fully help me step into this. This is an expectation, a contract between she and I. That I am to take care of her. It's as if I was born to take care of her. This contract is bigger than me, though. It's way bigger than me. Everything that I suggest for her for help, she thinks I don't like her. I'm going to give that to the Pachamama to hold because I love her. I love her so much. That's what I can give to her. I can give to her love. And I'm going to give that to the Pachamama to hold, and I'm going to cross that over. And I'm going to step into the north and hummingbird. If I don't want that feeling of feeling responsible any longer, what do I want? What do I want with my sister? I want her to know that I love her. I want her to know that I love her very much. And that I have to let go of trying to change her, trying to get her help when she doesn't want it. And just accept her. My role is to accept her just as she is. And I give that to the north and hummingbird and Pachamama. As I begin to now dream a new dream of how I can show her how I love her without wanting to change her. Dreaming a new dream now. I can feel my belly feeling so much softer. My throat has more airflow, more ability to communicate. As I dream this dream of just accepting who she is without changing her. And I give that to Pachamama to hold. And I'm going to step into the east with Eagle. Stepping into the east with Eagle, where I really feel that I've been seen, I've been heard, and I'm held. And I'm going to invite my own being to rise high, knowing that I can't step in and change anything at the level it was created, that I have to fly higher and gain a new perspective on ways that I can fully show her. And I'm going to allow this to be guided. I'm going to allow it to be guided by Spirit, that it will come to me. even deeper. And I'm going to give that to Eagle to hold. I'm going to step back in the south, and I'm going to bring up that energy of my sister who's homeless, who's lost her teeth, who has addiction issues. And I'm bringing in that energy of love without changing her. That love and compassion. There is no more trigger. No more trigger. And I'm going to lift off my Wetacocha and bring up my own Wetacocha, feeding all that I learned here down through my chakras and into the earth, anchoring that into the earth. And I'm going to collect my sticks from the south to the west, to the north, to the east. And I'm going to bundle it so that I can bring it to sacred fire. You can also decorate it if you like to. There's a beautiful pine cone here. And the pine cones that represent new seeds. I'm going to put this right in here for new seeds, for something new to grow with my sister, of acceptance, beautiful acceptance. Now with your spirit catcher, you can use that to create your sacred fire, or you can send it back to the earth where it's a leave no trace. In the winter months, it'd be really good for you to mix and mingle them back in with some of your other sticks to use at a later time when the snow is deep. Once this has been cleared, you want to close sacred space. It's very important that you close sacred space. Most generally, when I sit with sand painting, it's a good full hour, and sometimes I'll leave it and come back the next day if it's something really deep that I'm working with. So for you, just learning how to do sand painting and perform it and to work with it, I highly suggest that you sit with it for as long as you can to really allow those feelings to come forth. We do sand painting when we have a trigger. It's sort of hard to do sand painting when you don't have that trigger, that imprint. But if you want to try sand painting, begin by telling the story of your life, of your childhood, and just see what emotions are coming up for you. Feel what sensations are coming up for you in any of your chakras as you step into serpent, seeing things exactly as they are. Facts, staying with the facts, staying with the feelings. Remember, serpent is about the healer of the physical body. So you want to stay with that in a way that really helps you sink into feeling versus thinking. And then stepping into Jaguar, who is that journeyer that helps us step in to really shed even more using serpent. Jaguar helps us flow into that soul's journey where we can really see those wounds, feel those wounds in a deeper way. And that's where we do the most of the shedding. You know, Sachamama helps us step in to see what we're seeing what needs to be shed from our physical body. But Jaguar helps us step in as that luminous warrior, the peaceful warrior, where we can fully let go
that we can fully see what we're holding on to. As you can see with my sister, I felt cheated that I didn't have her, that she turned to drugs and alcohol and whatever have you that became an addictive behavior for her. And I didn't have her, I lost her. And the gift is that I love her. And I want to focus more on the gift of sharing that with her. And that's when I step into the north, into Hummingbird. Once you've shed those tears and there's no more tears to shed, you shift then into Hummingbird, where you can begin to dream a new dream, something that helps support who you are now and again who you are becoming. Once that dream feels really good inside of you, then you step into Eagle and really allow yourself to rise high, high above it, so that you can give it up, that something new can fully, fully begin to grow. Sand painting is a powerful, powerful tool for our inner healing, and it's something that we can do for ourselves. And nature is a great place to do this work in. It brings in all the elements together when we're in nature. And if it's a winter day and it's snowing and you're getting triggered, you can do it inside. Definitely can do it inside. And then create sacred fire after. So I welcome any questions that you have. Thank you.